So today we're going to be doing the Elephant Toothpaste experiment. For this experiment, you're going to need dish soap, hydrogen peroxide, 2 tablespoons of warm water. I have 2 bowls for 2 different bowls. And then you're going to need one teaspoon each of dry yeast. And as you can see right here, I have dry yeast. So hydrogen peroxide, also known as H2O2, is a chemical that breaks down or decomposes when exposed to light into oxygen and water, which is primarily why you see them always in this dark bottle, because it will decompose. So that is essentially what is happening in this experiment. Whenever you mix everything together, the hydrogen peroxide breaks down. And so in this chemical reaction, the yeast acts as a catalyst, and a catalyst is something that speeds up a chemical reaction. So we'll see that happen, and let's get started. Okay, so we have 2 tablespoons of warm water in each bowl, and I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of dry yeast and put it in each bowl. And it's very important to make sure that you stir well so that the yeast is completely dissolved into the water before you pour it into your mixture. This yeast is being pretty much dissolved into this water, because this is what it kind of looks like to begin with. You can see that it's a little thick. So you just have to stir very well until you get something mixed. Okay. So next I'm going to add half a cup of hydrogen peroxide to both of these bottles. One of these bottles will have dish soap present and one of these will not. So the reaction will be very similar. The only difference will be the amount of foam. The bottle without the dish soap will still bubble, and the one with dish soap will foam. But the only difference is because of the dish soap. So let's put half a cup. While I'm doing this, it is very important that you wear your safety goggles when dealing with hydrogen peroxide. It's important to wear your safety goggles in any chemical reaction because it's important to practice lab safety to keep everything safe. But hydrogen peroxide can irritate the eyes, so it's very important to wear something that's protective so you don't get it in your eyes. And then next you would add a few drops of food coloring if you want your foam to be a little more colorful, but this is just going to be regular foam. And then now we're going to add a little bit of dish soap. Okay. And then now we're going to pour the mixture in both bottles. And as you can see, the reaction is starting to occur. It'll happen with 3% hydrogen peroxide, but if you would like a larger reaction, you can use 6% hydrogen peroxide, which you can get at a beauty supply. And so we're going to do the exact same for this one. And as you can see, it's foaming a little bit and it's bubbling, nothing to the extent of this, just because that one doesn't have the dish soap present. If you were to fill the bottles, they would both feel a little warm, because in this reaction, energy is released in the form of heat. And so when heat is released, that is an exothermic reaction, which is what is happening right here. While this is a very fun experiment, it is very important to say that although this looks very, very similar to toothpaste, especially when you add the food coloring to make it a little bit more fun, it is important not to use this as toothpaste, because it is not. Another thing, this is actually safe to touch, because although this is foamed out and everything like that, the only things that are present are the oxygen, the water, and the soap. So you can actually touch this and actually feel the warmth on the bottles, but if you were in a regular lab with other chemicals, that would not be something that you would want to do, because you would not want to possibly expose your skin to something that's dangerous. So, hope you enjoy the experiment.